Champion Victor is the love child of Bane, the Hulk, and the stereotypical mad alchemist that is so familiar in this genre. Surprisingly, this boss isn't as annoying as some of the other ones that we've previously covered. However, if you don't do some of the things that I cover in this video, you're going to have a pretty rough time. Whether you're new or returning to the channel, welcome. I'm RYZEN, your guide to defeating Souls-like bosses, and in this video we'll break down the moveset of the boss, which tactics and weapons work best against him, and a full analysis of how I approach the fight. I'll start by saying that I'm an advocate for playing the game however you want, with whatever weapon you want. However, I will provide you with some useful information that you may consider when approaching a fight. Victor has a weakness to acid, so using a weapon such as the acidic crystal spear blade or another weapon with the acidic grindstone will help you to increase the amount of damage that you do when fighting Victor. For this fight, I personally used the Puppet Ripper Scythe with the acidic grindstone, and I'll show you later in the video how I used it. Another acidic item to consider is the Pandemonium Legion arm. This spreads acid on the floor, however it does have a bit of a limited reach. I personally use the Aegis Shield, which explodes on impact. Now let's get into the moveset breakdown for Champion Victor. I'll always start with his running swipe. For most lunging attacks, I recommend dodging to the left. Next is a lunging swipe with 2 follow-on strikes, so there's a swipe 1 and 2 right there. Next is an unblockable swing. Again, we just rotate around to the left. Here's what the attack looks like when it's not a fury attack. You'll want to rotate behind so that you can do follow-on strikes to his back. Another lunging strike, which again can be avoided by a perfectly timed dodge to the left. If you're not good at blocking, I highly recommend dodging. This leg stomp can be parried or dodged. Here's a fury attack, which I recommend doing a parry. When he screams, he's going to do a running attack, so just run or dodge. Just like the first phase, he starts the second phase with a running strike. We just dodge to the left. For this uppercut attack, it's recommended to run back or to time a perfect parry. This sprinter stance lets you know that a charge is coming. Again, dodge or perfect parry. When he sticks out his chest, an overhead attack is coming. The next one comes from the left side with follow-on attacks. I highly recommend dodging left and running around, unless you're really good at parrying. Here are 2 more examples of evading to the left on charging lunge strikes. Dodging opens up your window to counterattack. The last move is this grab that if you don't dodge backwards or to the left, you get caught and then this happens. This can also be parried, but the attack comes pretty quick. Full transparency, I use the Spectre. That decision is entirely up to you. And while we always use the Spectre as a distraction, you still have to be mindful of all of those attacks that I covered. Like we covered previously, he's going to start the fight running at you, rotate around to the left. At this point, your focus on the fight is to let your Spectre take aggro and just attack the back and be mindful of dodging the attacks when they're oriented towards you. If you have the Pandemonium arm, if you get them trapped in the corner like right here, that would be a great time to throw the acid down on the ground since it does have a limited range and it pools on the ground. If you're using the acidic spear, get behind Victor and do as much damage as you can in order to pile up that acidic effect damage. Since I'm using the acidic grindstone, we'll wait to the second half of the fight to use our acid. So again, when he goes for these charging attacks, we're going to just get around to the left. They're pretty easy to avoid after you've done it a couple of times. During this run in particular, I was able to keep Victor in that corner for a little bit. Let the Spectre take aggro, rotate behind, and just really punish him. It does amplify damage if you hit Victor in the back. So if you're going to run solo, you need to do those left side rotations and attack the back when those windows are open. So in the first phase, you will down Victor with the stagger attack if you land it with a Fable Art or with a charge attack. In the second phase, that's not the case. Keep in mind that when Victor goes down, you can't do damage until he stands all the way back up like you see right here. Again, we just let our Spectre take the aggro or rotate behind and avoid anything coming at us. Even with the Spectre, we need to be mindful of our potential to be targeted, so we always think about rotating to that left-hand side and attacking the back when the windows open up. Here you go, you see it again. Just make it a habit. If he goes into this Fury Rage, just let him throw his little tantrum, stay back, and then approach him. Again, be mindful at the start of every phase, he starts with a charging attack, so we're going to rotate around to the left. You get plenty of space in this one. If you decided to use the acidic grindstone, look for a good opportunity to time applying the grindstone. If you don't have the Resurrection Moonstone for your Spectre, just keep in mind that he's probably going to get absolutely ragdolled in this round. If you notice, I almost always move to the left, except for when an opportunity presents itself to rotate around to wherever I can get to hit him in the back. Sometimes going against the pattern doesn't pay off, as you see right there where I get pummeled. The reason I love the spear is because after I dodge, it has incredible range, where the acid spear is a little limited. I take advantage of a window of opportunity to use my Fable Art attack. Chest puffed, we know a vertical attack's coming. Dodge back, completely avoid it. Again, rotating left, moving to the back and attacking the back. Gotta be always mindful of those attacks. Here comes a chest, it's gonna come down again. And then this time we didn't avoid it. Got a lucky block in there and then get these heals up. And I know at this point it seems cliche if you've watched either my videos or any other videos in this category, but you have to stay patient, especially as you get towards that lower third of the health bar. Now in the first phase, when you stunned him, he went down, but I want you to keep in mind for this phase, something completely different happens. We see this charge attack coming. Boom, we hit him a couple of times with the follow-up. We wait for the slam. We hit him with a follow-up. Now we're going to try to do this guard break attack. I hit him with a charge attack. It breaks, but keep in mind in the second phase, he doesn't get stunned where you can do that animated follow-on attack. And as you'll be able to tell, this took me completely by surprise because I was fully expecting to go in, hit the right bumper, and do the follow-on attack. However, he immediately went into the grab. But the important thing is to remain calm, readjust, and stick with the strategy. We know what we have to do. We can't overcommit. Don't go and do an unnecessary amount of combos. As you can see right there, I stuck to 2 attacks. I wait for an opening. I know he's coming left. I dodge left. I wait for an opening. Boom, a little bit quick on that one. Recover, he's going to lunge again. I'm going to dodge left. We're going to go for a follow-on. As we get later into the fight, as you can see, he's about 1 or 2 hits left on his health, but it's going to slowly start recovering back to that guard break. I like to just trigger him into doing these lunging attacks because for the most part, except for right there, they're easy to avoid. Again, go into left attack. He's 1 health. Oh, I almost get a little greedy. I got lucky right there at the end. Normally, I stick to the rule of 2 hits. And if you made it this far, please hit the like button. And I also ask that if you enjoy this type of content, that you please consider subscribing. Subscribing is absolutely free to do, and it's the best way to support the channel. As always, thanks for watching. I've been RYZEN, and remember, if there's a boss, I'll help you defeat it. I'll see you in the next one.